Good afternoon, everybody. It's your boy D Max. So let's talk about some things. Um, Hiding behind your uniform. We often equate people to in uniform to someone who's a professional, somebody who's a person of generally good character, and for what they represent, or we usually see them as skilled, we usually see them as smart. All of these things we attribute to someone who's in uniform, and particularly we see them as professional. But oftentimes, the level of professionalism and all of those other attributes that I just named, they go no further than the uniform, and that person does not carry any of those things, and they will hide behind the uniform and all of the attributes that is attributed to that uniform so that they can do other things, and their true nature comes through as they hide behind that uniform. And so this can really cause someone to have a jaded view of someone in that field or that actual field itself because of an experience with a person who carries this type of nature. um, I was in the military, and there's a lot of times where, a lot of guys did not live up to the uniform. There's a lot of times where I didn't live up to the uniform. There was a lot of times where I was a poor representation of the uniform that I had on. And they would often say that you're not ready to be promoted until you got in your first Article 15. Um, but just going into that to say that we have a lot of people who place a lot of weight on just the appearance, the outward appearance of things, and it often puts us in a very compromising position because that person is not upholding what that uniform represents they have on. We see it going on right now within the police force. We see it going on within the military. We see it going on our within our Congress and our Senate. Well, I guess you could call that a uniform. They wear suits every day. You don't really see them in jeans and t-shirt on the job, so I guess that would be considered their uniform. And these people will hide behind a shirt and a tie and some glasses and some loafers, and they'll have the appearance of a respectable person, but that's all it is, an appearance. And we will give the benefit of the doubt oftentimes to someone based on their appearance. Someone can put on say a an exterminator uniform. We see it a lot of times in the movies, and it's not just a movie thing. You can go out there and do it yourself if you really, really wanted to test the theory. But if you can put on a uniform, say like an exterminator or something of that nature, and you can walk into a surprisingly alarming a number of places without being questioned whatsoever and get to pretty much wherever you want to, because nobody's going to question the guy who's there to do a job that nobody else is going to do, or nobody else is knowledgeable of the job that he's representing. So that uniform can often cloud people's judgment and lower their guard to a threat. This is how oftentimes people will catch us with our guard down in order to be able to do something to us. There's recently a young man who was murdered, and he had been in prison for a long period of time, and he got out. And when he got out, he was very cautious about how he moved. I think he was in witness protection or something. And the people who wanted him so bad that they had their assassin or hitman, whatever you want to call him, dressed up like a rabbi, a Jewish rabbi, because the area that he was living in was predominantly Jewish community. And so he was coming out that morning to go to his vehicle, and there was a Jewish rabbi who seemed to be having car trouble. And next thing you know, that Jewish rabbi runs over to the guy, dumps fuel in him, and takes off. And that's just to say that people are up in their game. They understand the concept of what they need to do to get you to let your guard down. This is why Ted Bundy was such a prolific serial killer, was because he looked the part of a conservative politician, corporate America guy, clean cut, harmless guy. That was the image that he portrayed, and that's how he was able to get a lot of the women to let their guard down. And he also act like he was injured, which even let their guard down even more because he played on their sympathy. And so we have to be aware of these things and look past these surface level things and not judge a person based on what they're wearing and what they appear to represent on the outside, but base it on the character and the experiences that you have with them. If you have enough interaction with a person, you will begin to see patterns of things that they will do, patterns of things that they will say, and it'll give you a good analysis on what type of person you're dealing with. And this is all I'm saying in this. I'm not trying to bash anybody that's in uniform. I'm proud of the uniforms that I've worn over the years, because the military is not the only service that I've been in, and it's not the only areas where I've had to wear uniforms. And so in these other areas in my life, I was also proud to wear those uniforms as well. And I was also proud to represent what I was representing. So by no way is this a knock on the uniform or different professionals in their capacity. I'm just saying that we need to keep our eyes, especially with the amount of terrorist attacks that are happening domestically. There's so many different. They just recently found a U-Haul truck with 31 members of this uh, white nationalist group, and they were going to attack people at a pride parade. You have the shooting that just happened here in Uvalde. You have all of these acts of terrorism, and these people are finding more creative ways to catch us off guard, because the regardless of what the government puts the alert level at, the people are on a high alert for the things that are going on out here in this world. People are not as naive to the evil and to the intentions of some certain this certain group of extreme fanatic people. We understand that they're extremists and fanatics in everything, in every single religion, in every single belief system, period. There's always going to be those extreme fanatics who are going to go out and they're going to act out on something that they've taken out of context, or their clouded judgment, and it's just fueled by whatever their demons are. And so I'm saying this, and I'm bringing this point about so that we understand that we can't just give things at face value or at uniform value anymore. We have to really see what type of person we're dealing with, and not we can't afford to give the benefit of the doubt anymore. We can't. And I see it as the point of, if I give this person the benefit of the doubt and they turn out to be the person that I saw them in that instance that I turned a blind eye to, I'm going to feel bad about that, because I could have done something about that. I could have confronted that. I could have spoken to somebody about that and got them reprimanded to where they couldn't do this to other people anymore. And so that's why I now, I don't turn my back on you just because you have on a police uniform. I don't turn my back on you, or I don't look to you as somebody who would be willing to put down your life for me just because you have on a military uniform. Not everybody operates within the military ethos. Not everybody carries the character of a hero. You may have on the uniform of what is perceived to be a hero, but a lot of people, when it comes down to it, and you have to make those decisions of integrity and selfless service, and all of the things that the leadership acronym describes, the duty, all of those things. Just when it comes time to deliver on that, I'm just saying that there's a lot of people who do not fit the bill. There's a lot. Um, any type of uniform you can think of. There's some lifeguards out there who really aren't up to par. There's a little bit of everything, anything that you can imagine. I can sit here all day and just think of different areas to name and different uniforms and different people that we look up to for certain things in our lives, often putting our lives in their hands. But we all get the gist of what I'm talking about. And so I just wanted to bring this out a little bit and let us understand that the uniform is just a uniform. It's just clothing with different, I guess you could say it's kind of like NASCAR. You know how the NASCAR drivers, they have the uniforms, got all the different endorsements on it. That's all a uniform is. It's just showing who you represent. And that's really all I had to say, man. I just wanted to get on here because I was bored. Came back from the VA. My appointment went well. Just have to be a little bit more disciplined in my diet, just like most people, and brother, be all right. Be here for a while to speak to the people and to just enjoy my time on this earth, because we don't know how much time we have on this earth. It's precious and it's not guaranteed from day to day. This is something that I'm starting to learn. So everybody, continue to enjoy the rest of this day. Make the most of it. Don't allow anybody to dictate your feelings, your emotions, or your actions. And let's grow intentionally. This your boy D Mac, man. Y'all know what I say. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.